A very happy new year to all of you. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you have had a great start to your 2025. So in our last video, we talked a little bit about how the sneaker market has crashed, how there is very little hype or way less resale than expected. So where do you get your kicks from? Do you still trust StockX or do you go to your local sneaker stores? That's what we are going to talk about in today's video. So as always, before getting started, let's do a mandatory fit check. So I'm rocking the Jordan cap, the Cause Uniqlo collaboration crew neck, and for the denims I have the Levi's denims on. For the kicks today, I'm rocking the Jordan 1 taxis. These are amazing quality. Alright guys, it's 2025 and we need to talk about StockX. Is it still the GOAT? Well, you've all heard the stories, right? Fake slipping through, frustrating customer service, and don't get me started on the policies at all. So in 2025, is StockX still worth your money? Well, spoiler alert, probably not. But let's talk a little more about it. Before we get into it, let's talk a little about StockX's rise to fame, right? So StockX came in hot back in the day. A stock market for sneakers. Pure genius. It was the perfect platform for anyone who wanted Yeezys without having to camp outside a Foot Locker for 12 hours. And for a while, they were the place to buy and sell. But lately, the trust in the brand is about the same that I have in a raffle entry, actually resulting in a W. So the core idea is still there, but something feels off. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes first. The two biggest reasons why people have beef with StockX are authenticity and customer service. So first up, authenticity. StockX's whole brand was built on their 100% verified authentic promise. You remember they used to have the verified authentic tag back in the day. That's what their green tag also used to signify. Sneakerheads actually kept that particular tag on just to show that they are wearing real sneakers, just like the off-white zip tag. But then Nike themselves sued them in 2022, claiming that they sold counterfeit sneakers. Well, that lawsuit wasn't just the tea, it was the whole kettle. And while StockX denied the allegations, the damage was already done. Even now, you'll find horror stories of people getting fakes or sneakers that look like they were authenticated by someone squinting at them from across the room. Then there's their customer service, or should I say, the lack of it. Imagine this, you spend about $2,000 on a pair of off-whites and they show up with stuffs. Or worse, they look fake. What do you do then? You try to reach out to StockX and it's like trying to explain your mom the difference between these two pairs. Good luck with that. Well, the bottom line is that if you're dropping some serious cash, you deserve better than radio silence. Alright, giving credit where credit is due, StockX has not just been sitting on their hands. They have introduced a couple of updates recently. First of all, there's their no-fee resale program. Well, if you buy a sneaker on StockX and decide to resell it back on their platform, they waive the seller fees. Cool idea. But let's be real. How many of us are flipping sneakers right back to StockX? This feels more like a shiny perk for resellers than something that actually helps the average buyer like you or me. Then there's their updated return policy. They are now letting you return items under their StockX certified program if they are unworn, tagged, and basically untouched. Well, that sounds nice in theory, right? But in practice, it's like saying you can return your engagement ring if you never took it out of the box. Useful for a tiny percentage of people, but not exactly groundbreaking. And do you know what the worst part is? It doesn't even apply to all shoes. Some high demand sneakers like Travis Scott collaborations, they're not covered under this policy. It's outrageous. Alright, so the question is, if StockX is really eating dirt, who is doing better? Well, I have two words for you, GOAT and eBay. Well, let's start with GOAT. This platform feels like StockX's more cool or reliable sibling. Their authentication process is top tier. They use a mix of AI and human experts to make sure your kicks are legit. Plus, they give you more options. You can buy new, you can buy used, or even instant shipped sneakers if patience isn't your thing. And let's be real, it's probably not. So, on top of that, their customer service actually exists. And it's good. Wild concept, I know. Now, let's talk about eBay. I know what you're thinking, right? Isn't eBay where people sold fake Pokemon cards back in the early 2000s? Well, not anymore. eBay has seriously leveled up with their authenticity guarantee. Every sneaker over $100 gets verified by third-party experts before it even reaches you. Plus, eBay doesn't charge buyer fees, so you're not paying extra just for the privilege of buying something. And their return policy? Well, it's way more forgiving than StockX. So the question is, why are GOAT and eBay dunking on StockX? Well, the answer is simple. They are better at three things that matter the most, which is authenticity, customer service, and trust. Goat and eBay have stricter verification processes, so you are way less likely to end up with a pair of Jordan Air Flies instead of Jordan Air Ones. Both platforms actually help you when things go wrong, instead of leaving you to fend for yourself like you're in a Survivor episode. And for flexibility, Goat gives you multiple buying options and eBay's buyer protection is unmatched. Compare that to StockX, where once you click buy, you are basically logged in forever. I do have a couple of honorable mentions as well. If Goat or eBay doesn't do it for you, then there are options. Stadium Goods is great for premium verified sneakers, although it's a little pricey. And by a little pricey, I mean a lot, because you can snag the same pair on eBay and probably still have money left over to sponsor a dinner for 4. And if you're in Europe, Collect is another solid choice. They don't have the same global outreach, but they are reliable and trusted within the community. And if you don't want to go for these big reselling brands, then you always have your next door sneaker store. Support a small business. They would probably have a little more credibility than you know who. So, should you buy sneakers from StockX in 2025? Well, I would think twice before doing so. StockX had its moment, but the sneaker world has moved on. With fakes, customer service issues, and policies that don't really favor the buyer, there are just better options out there. Goat and eBay are leading the pack, and for good reason. They are more transparent, more reliable, and frankly, I just think that they have a little more respect for the culture. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Have you had good or bad experiences with StockX, Goat, or eBay? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear your stories, and if this video helped you out, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss my next drop. Until then, keep it clean, keep it real, and keep chasing those grails. Peace.